So today I'll be trying out a new foundation from Covergirl. This is the Outlast Active Foundation. This is being sold as a foundation that is transfer proof, sweat proof, and humidity proof. And that concerns me a little bit because there really is no humidity in the air up here this time of year. I also have dry skin, and this foundation seems like it's made more for people with combo oily skin. I can sometimes wear matte foundations, but I just have to make sure my skin is well prepped before applying it. But I wanted to try this foundation out anyway because I wanted to see if it was possible for those with dry skin to wear it. So I picked this up for $12 and you get your standard 1 fluid ounce of product. It also says on here this wears up to 24 hours, it doesn't clog pores, it has an SPF of 20 and is available in 16 shades. The shade range isn't great for this. It basically is for people with like light to medium type complexions. Covergirl foundations are really hit or miss for me when it comes to shade matching. Most of the time they're either way too dark or they oxidize to a strange orange color and just look completely wrong for me. The only exception I can think of is the Covergirl Matte Made foundation. That one I really liked. And I picked up the shade 810 Ivory, which is the 4th to lightest shade. So if you're enjoying this video while watching it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more about the Covergirl Active Foundation and how it applies and wears throughout the day, don't go anywhere, just keep watching. So even though winter is long over, I'm still dealing with some crazy dry skin issues. So I made sure my skin was well exfoliated this morning, and I also went in with my CeraVe Hydrating Micellar Water. This stuff is technically a makeup remover, but I use it more as a toner because it contains glycerin and ceramides. If you're gonna try this stuff though, just a word of caution, keep it far away from your eyes. So I used it as a makeup remover once, and that was more than enough because this stuff stings your eyes like crazy. It's amazing as a toner, it's horrible as a makeup remover. And then I moisturized my face with the Olay Total Effects 7-in-1 moisturizer, and this contains an SPF of 30. I also took a peek at the ingredients list for this, and for the most part, it's okay. It's not fabulous, it's just okay. So the main ingredient is something called cyclopentasiloxane, which is a silicone that gives a foundation its slippery feel. Next there's dimethicone. Next there's an ingredient called trimethylsiloxate, which is a silicone that prevents water loss. This is scented, unfortunately. There is denatured alcohol in this, but there's not a lot of it. It's down near the bottom of the ingredients list, but it's just something to be aware of if that's an ingredient you're trying to avoid. There's also glycerin in this, so hopefully that will help offset the drying aspect of this foundation. And there's citronella, like the candle. That's a little weird. Citronella is used in perfumes, insect repellents, and is a mite attraction. Citronella is good as a mosquito repellent at short distances. So it's a little weird that citronella is in here, but I guess if you want to wear a foundation during mosquito season, you're mildly protected from insect bites. So on the right side of my face, I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge, and on the left side of my face, I'm going to use my CC Skin Perfecting Brush number 702 from Make Cosmetics. Give this a good shake. So this is the packaging. It's just your basic squeezy tube bottle. I'll just start off with that amount. So far it's pretty runny. In the bottle, the shade looked a little dark, but I think this will be okay. So far the coverage with the sponge seems pretty light to medium. You can smell that citronella. So far the coverage is pretty much non-existent. It's very, very light. Hopefully it's a bit better with the brush. I'm not one who likes a huge heavy face of foundation, but I need a bit more coverage than what I'm getting with the sponge. Yeah, that smell, I can't figure out what it is. It smells a bit like cleaning products. This dries super quick, so you have to work fast in order to blend it out so it doesn't get patchy. Yeah, that doesn't look very good. It's wicked dry all through there. So I'm gonna just go in with the sponge and try and smooth that out a bit. So I think the sponge for dry skin is definitely the way to go. The coverage isn't fabulous, but I was getting some wicked texture problems and clinging to dry patches with the brush. I'm just gonna, I know I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to anyway. I just want to see if this is buildable because so far I'm not too terribly impressed with the coverage. Wow, that scent is insane. If you have any sort of sensitivities to scents, I think this is probably one to skip. It's only been on my face for 5 minutes and it's really irritating me. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. I was able to build it up on my cheeks to cancel out the hyperpigmentation that I have right there. And the sponge is definitely the way to go. It was able to smooth out the texture issues that I was having before. My skin looks dry, whatever. Ugh. I apologize for the noise outside. I don't know what the hell is going on out there. We had a storm last night and we had a few trees that lost some limbs. So they are breaking them up in the wood chipper as we speak. So I'm just gonna try and push through and cut out all the noisy bits. My skin looks dry, but not painfully dry. Whatever moisture was on there before has definitely been absorbed by this foundation. I was able to smooth out the texture and I don't see any dry patches forming. I can see it oxidizing a little bit around my neck, which is not surprising because CoverGirl foundations are notorious for oxidizing on me. So far, I just think it looks okay. At this point, I just hope my skin doesn't dry out any further. If it stays the way it is right now, we'll be fine. That smell though, it's bad. I won't lie, it's horrible. It's, it must be the citronella or something, I don't know, but now, I'm not a person who is super sensitive to strong smells, but that is, I don't like that. I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup and I will see you in a bit. So this one kind of got off to a bumpy start, first with the texture issues from the brush, and then it looked like it found a nice big fat dry patch to cling to. But after I got that area smoothed out with the sponge, that problem seemed to go away. This doesn't seem to be drying out my skin any further. The only issue I have so far is it has definitely oxidized. I can see a bit of a color difference between my face and my neck. But right now that seems to be the only issue. The finish of this is perfect. It doesn't seem to be dehydrating my skin. It's not settling into any fine lines and it's not creasing around my mouth. So on my eyes, I'm wearing the Rimmel London Crimson Edition. This color here is what I was wearing on my lid. It looks really misleading. It looks like a light frosted pink, but when I got it on my eye, it was like bright flaming orange and completely unwearable for me. But I ended up toning it down with this lighter shade down here, and it's not my favorite look in the world, but it's the best I could do at short notice. It just kind of reminds me of the makeup I used to wear in junior high. A little too pink for my liking. I'm also filming a video today for the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer, and if you'd like to watch that, the link will be right there. On my cheeks, I'm wearing the Physician Formula Butter Blush. Mascara, I'm trying out today the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara. It's okay, but I'm finding, I don't know, the brush is like super huge. It's not my favorite type of brush to use. I prefer the CoverGirl Supersizer where you can just really get in there and coat the lashes. This one, I was having a few issues applying it without like jabbing myself in the eye with it. The time is now 10 o'clock. The next check-in will be in 5 hours. I'll see you guys in a bit. So the time is 5:40. So I'm not feeling too great, guys. So I'm susceptible to getting really horrible migraines when things with the weather start shifting in the spring and the summer. So I think that mixed in with the smell of this foundation brought on a really horrible migraine today. So I've been laying down most of the day trying to get rid of this thing. I'm still not feeling great. After I finish this update, I'm gonna go back and lay down a bit longer because I'm still not 100%. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of what I think of this. For the most part, everything still looks nice, although I'm noticing along my forehead, I don't know, that line there looks a little bit more accentuated than I would like it to look. Also, I'm noticing like my smile lines just look a little bit more accentuated. Yeah, it's drawn attention to areas that I really just don't want to draw attention to. As far as skin dryness, I feel a little bit of tightness happening around the edges of my cheek. So the dryness combined with bringing attention to fine lines and the weird scent, which I don't think it brought on the migraine, but it certainly isn't helping things. So this one definitely isn't my favorite right now. Longevity wise, it seems to be lasting. It doesn't seem to be wearing away anywhere, but at this point, I can't see myself reaching for this one again. So that's where we're at right now. This definitely isn't one of my favorites. I'm gonna go back and try and get rid of the rest of this headache, and I will see you later tonight. So the time is 8:33. So I'm still feeling a little rough. So I'm gonna end this one a little early tonight. I'm still feeling not that great. The only area that's irritating me are the areas that were irritating me earlier. That line on my forehead seems a little bit more magnified than I would like it to be. I have one right here that just looks like a crater. I don't know what's going on up there. And then I have another one over here which looks amplified. And my skin around here feels a little bit drier than I would like it to be, but everything else still looks really nice. It's just now just starting to break up along the bottoms of my cheeks, but everything else has held up really well. It's just the smell of this one does not make me want to reach for it again. I don't think the scent of this caused my headache, but it certainly didn't help it either. So if you're a person who is ultra sensitive to smells at all, I would definitely skip this one. It's really unlike anything I've smelled before. Normally foundations, if they're scented, they're more of a floral scent. This was almost like a bathroom cleaner. It had that strong lemony scent, which I'm assuming came from the citronella. So if you have any further questions about this foundation, just leave them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!